Viewers from all around the world, welcome to Musical People and Journeys, the Results Show! Well, results part one, because we've got a whole new panel, but we are voting. This is the voting show for this panel's album of the year, album of the month, where we've reviewed. Hopefully you've seen the show, our reviews and what our thoughts were. In the lineup today, we have Infected Rain and Time, Amaranth and the Catalyst, Illumishade and Another Side of You, Throne of Thorns, Converging of Power Worlds, Borknagar of Fall, and Atreyu and the Beautiful Life of Dark. So, where will they sit? Will any of them? We have voted. If they get over an average of 4, they hit into our Hall of Fame and automatically potentially qualify if they get to our top 20 for the year to get into our Album of the Year show. But we, including the 6, interesting fact, including the 6 albums that we've reviewed, we have now reviewed 332 albums in the last year and a half. Where will they sit? Where will the albums that we've voted for? Where will they sit in that one as well? So we're going to run through from 6 to 1st, reveal our album of the month, and have maybe a little chat about some of our voting and why we kind of voted on that one. So in 6th place, we're going to kick off in 6th place with an average score of 2.6, which basically means it's above average, but bizarrely, that doesn't mean it's halfway through. It hit 251st out of our 332 albums, and is currently sat at 26th in our Album of the Year out of 31. And that is Throne of Thorns and Converging with the Parallel Worlds. Yeah. Score-wise, Will, you are the standout score. You give this 4.5. Which, for a proggy rocky sort of album, was
prog rock. That's
it's not
why.
prog rock.
It's Madonic power metal.
It's prog rock esque was my version, my cliff notes of it. But you really liked this. You really enjoyed it.
I did. I already explained why. It just made me reminisce of the old times. And it just brought back happy memories. Brought me much pleasure.
Conversely, hating the album was Ian with a 1.
Yeah. It was the album title and the fact that there just wasn't much to it. On paper, I should have liked this, but I just didn't at all.
Other than that, I give it a 3. Trish and Trish, Dom, and Cully all give it a 2. Interestingly, you did have a little bit of an ally, Will, and that was Simon. So.
What a surprise!
I know, right? Simon did give us a 3.5 in fairness to him, so probably felt the same as you, mate. So which is not a shock anyway. But there we are. Okay, in 5th place with an average score of 2.9, which is pretty good. Put them into 222nd out of our 332 albums, and 23rd in our album of the year so far is Borknagar and the album Fall. I mean, 2.9 is pretty. It's still a solid score, you know. Let's have a look. To be honest with you, Dom, you were the champion of Borknagar with a 4. So yeah, you enjoyed this album, didn't you?
I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was a great album. I love that kind of slow, pondering, heavy, atmospheric noise. So yeah, it was a great album, I thought.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that me and Ian give it the same score, which is 3.5. I think we kind of we're there with it, but not kind of going that further up, weren't we? So, but yeah, so. And yeah, Trish, Will, and Simon all give 2.5, and Cully, being his lack of imagination, only give it 1.5.
Yeah, as I said when we did the review, it feels like I should have liked it a bit more, but it just didn't come across. So yeah.
Okay, in 4th place we have Throne of Thorns and the Converging of Parallel Worlds. Once again, Will, you absolutely.
No, I think you made a mistake there, haven't you, Nigel?
You've got a mistake there, Nigel.
Yeah,
You've done there.
That was 6th place.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong sheet.
Oh dear, malfunction.
Wrong sheet. Sorry, in fourth place was Infected Rain and their album Time. My apologies. They scored 3, average of 3, which is pretty good. 214th in our all-time list. 22nd out of 31 in our list as well. So Infected Rain, which actually bizarrely had a little bit of Will, you adore this album. You're absolutely right up your street.
Sure did.
You were the only one. You championed this with a 5, and Dom championed it with a 4.5.
Mm.
What can I say?
Rocks.
Screamo.
Phenomenal. Heavenly.
Scissorhands.
Myself and Ian are definitely online with a 2. Simon with a 3. I thought Simon would have maybe given this a bit more. That was a shock. And Trish, well, you're converting Trish over to metalcore. That's a screamo because she gave us a 3.5. So it would have done better if it wasn't for Cully, who gave this a 1. A 1.
As I said in the review itself, it was just Growler all over, and that wasn't for me. No, and
that's fair enough. So, when I started with doing this show, I thought, it's going to be a bit of an anticlimax, but it's not an anticlimax because the next 3 albums, I'm going to reveal them all. All 3 albums, so congratulations to all 3, have made our Hall of Fame. All 3 albums have made our Hall of Fame. And there is 0.2 of a mark between all 3 of them. 0.2.
Wow.
And all of them made our top 50 all-time albums. All of them. And all of them are currently in our top 5 album of the year.
Holy moly.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So what would it be? Illumishade, Another Side of You, Amaranth the Catalyst, Atreyu, and The Beautiful Dark of Life. In 3rd place this month, with an average score of 4, is Illumishade and Another Side of You. 45th in our all-time list. That's pretty impressive. Currently 4th, or joint 4th in our Album of the Year side of things as well. I'm pretty damn solid across the board. Only 1 5, and that was from Ian. So Ian, you give this a 5. Your standout album of the month? Yeah,
absolutely. It was just the it was the use of the vocals. I think they were just so temp. Apart from those 2 tracks every week, it was just those vocals added so much. And the synthesized sounds, they just weren't. It wasn't just in the background at the same level all the way through. There was enough subtlety and variety throughout. It was amazing.
Yeah, other than that, pretty solid scores. Myself a 4.5. Simon tuned in with a 4.5. He also really enjoyed this album as well. Dom with a 4, and then Trish and Cully with 3.5, and Will a 3 from Will. Could have been higher.
It's just above average, isn't it? It was music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's it going to be? Amaranth with The Catalyst, or Atreyu with The Beautiful Dark of Life? Literally, point scored. Subsequently, Will said to me that, oh damn, I messed my voice up a little bit, can I change it? And I said, no, because I've already done all the paperwork, it's all done. Will that have made the difference? Will that make a difference? So Will, just for suspense, I think you're probably talking about Atreyu, is that right?
I'm right.
Yeah, you give that a 4.5, and I'm assuming you would have given it
I just realised I hit the wrong button.
A 5. Would it have made a difference? Would it have topped Amaranth's album of the month? Would it have tied with Amaranth's album of the month? Or would it have just won anyway? No. Our album of the month is Amaranth and Catalyst. They scored a 4.2.
Oh,
and Atreo scored a 4.1. It would have still been a half a point behind. Okay, so it would have made a huge difference. That's third in our time. The Static X is still top of our favourite albums of the year so far, followed by Amaranth now, followed by Atreo with Illumishade kind of in there as well. So yeah, oh wow. So Atreo then. Other than me, everybody loved the album. And I give it a 2.5. Metal called it. Trish give it a 5. She was only 5, though subsequently Will was given 5. Ian, Simon actually, and Cully give it 4s, and then Ian, Dom, and Will give it 4.5s. Yeah. So, but obviously Will would have changed his to a 5. Yeah. I can't be enthusiastic. I cannot be enthusiastic. I'm trying to, but I can't be. And I love the Amaranth. So Amaranth, I give it a 5. Trish give it a 5. Will give it a 4.5. Simon give it a 4.5. Ian give it a 4. And surprisingly, because you absolutely loved Electric Cowboy, Dom only give it a 3.5. Which I mean, I thought you'd give it higher than that, Dom. But
they're very different.
Yeah.
It's the Thundercats vibes. That's what it was.
Hence, I thought you would have given it a 5. You know?
Yeah, well, true.
I love Thundercats.
And Cully, you were the misery pussycat of the group. You only give it a 3, Cully. But your review, I'm surprised because you were raving it up in your review.
It sounds like I might have hit the wrong button. Because I've got 3.5 in my notes. But again, I really liked it, but I liked other stuff more. And so if it's about how well we enjoyed it and how much we liked to do it at the time, it got a 3.5.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah,
well, there we go.
Button. But it's still one. So
if that
there
makes
you
you feel better, Will, it still would have won there from that 1 second. So our album of the month, part 1, because we do have another 6 albums to review with another bunch of musical peoples and journeys. But part 1 of our results show, just to run them down again. So Amaranth and Catalyst number 1, Atreo Beautiful Life of Dark, and then Illumishade. All of them hitting our Hall of Fame. All of them in our top 50 albums of the year of our time we'll be doing this. Of our 332 albums we reviewed. Then Infected Rain, Brognar, and then Throne of Thorns. But all of them over 2.5. All of them worth a definite listen to. Obviously, our opinion is how we enjoy to listen, not about how technically good it is or anything like that. So just be aware of that. Sometimes we get comments about, well, you know, are you grading it for its technical ability and production? No, we're not. We're only grading it for how much we enjoyed listening to that album.
Musical listening pleasure.
For our musical listening pleasure, that is our catchline. So thank you very much again. Please hit the like and subscribe button. But thank you very much to my wonderful musical people in Dom Clark and Chris Cully and Ian Venner and William Hall and into Trish White. Without you, this show would be absolutely nothing. So appreciate you all and thank you very much. Goodbye for now, everybody. Keep rocking out there.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.